This weekend, the readings focus on God's power and God's control. In the first reading, it talks about the Persian Emperor Cyrus and how God uses that Persian Empire to bring his people back to their own land and enable them to build their own temple. And this is because they've been allowed to do this by Cyrus, but it is God who is at work through Cyrus. Cyrus is God's instrument. And then the second reading is St. Paul beginning his first letter to the Thessalonians. And he greets them and talks about the way in which God has been at work with them, not just through what they have heard and learnt, but also the way the Spirit has been at work with them. That power of the Spirit that has given them that faith in the gospel. And then the gospel itself this weekend is the one about the coin with Caesar's head. Here are the scribes and Pharisees trying to catch Jesus out. If he says they shouldn't pay taxes, that will please the nationalists who want the Romans thrown out, but it won't please the Romans. If he says they should pay taxes, well, that's okay with the Romans, but it will upset the nationalists. So he can't win. But he gets them to show them a coin, and the coin has Caesar's face on it. And he says, give back to Caesar's what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. And that's the punchline. Giving back to God what is God's. And what is God's? Everything. All that is, all the rulers of the world, everything we have and receive is God's gift, and it is God's world. And our call, if we are to give back to God what is God's, is to have our lives centred on that reality.